I jump out at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
We met yesterday.
Yeah.
Again, Steve.
So Andy, after this first interview.
Okay, so you'll say a thank you or something.
But you just need to wait on that.
I'm not going to be on camera.
Just wait for the...
I didn't think I was going to be on. I didn't have a shave, and then the director didn't show up. No, I don't.
Welcome along to the New River Stadium here in London, where today we'll find out whether Norway or Greece will progress to the next round of the Rugby League European Championship qualification for Rugby League World Cup 2021. Greece, who qualified from Group C South, beating Ukraine in Kharkov, and they brushed aside Malta as well. Norway did it the hard way. They needed a big win over Germany in their final group game to make it to this decider here. The winner of this game will go on to contest with Scotland and Russia in the next round of qualification games. It's a fine afternoon here in London. The pitch, an artificial surface, is in perfect condition here, and we are almost set for action. Right, we've got Steve Mascord. He's got the all-important Rugby League World Cup trophy with him. And he's also got a special guest as well. Over to you, Steve Mascord.
Stylianos from the Greek Rugby League. How are the nerves?
For me, they're not too bad. For the players, I imagine, especially we have two guys making their international debut. I'm sure they're quite nervous, hopefully not too nervous. A lot have played before, so I'm sure they can handle it. It's a big occasion, but I'm sure they'll be okay.
And what about for Rugby League in Greece as a whole? What does this occasion mean?
This is big. If we can go one step closer to the World Cup and gain some momentum and hopefully get a bit of publicity for the game in Greece, it will help us grow the game, more teams, more players. That's our ultimate goal here.
Now, we can't leave out the political intrigue that's going on. If you win this game, will you be able to host your next game?
Honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I could give you an answer, but we'll go one step at a time. We're playing this match today, and then we'll have to look at that from next week onwards.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
And we've got Carl Fredrik Vela from Norwegian Rugby League here. How are the, again, I'll ask you the same question. How are the nerves? Oh, we're off?
You answer me the questions in English, I reply in Norwegian. Is that okay?
You can do it if you like.
Is in front of that Rugby League World Cup. Yeah, Steve Mascord down there at pitchside then in front of that Rugby League World Cup trophy. He's got another special guest down at pitchside with him. He's speaking to the Norwegian president. We'll hear from Steve Mascord now.
Fredrik Vela from the Norwegian Rugby League. And I'll ask you the same question. How are the nerves?
We do both in English and Norwegian. Nerves is there, but we are really ready for this game. Så som vi sa, nervene I høyspenn, men vi veldig klar for denne kampen her. Vi kjemper for dette her I lang tid. Endelig skal vi få lov å ha mulighet til å spille EM-finale I Rugby League.
What can you tell the viewers about the state of Rugby League in Norway?
In Norway, the state of Rugby League is finally fully recognized as a sport now. That means that we are cooperating with the Norwegian Rugby Federation, but we still also Norwegian Rugby League will be on its own for the national team and the maintenance of the membership of Rugby League International. We are satisfied with that. That means we can look into the future, and now the terms are set. We can develop Rugby League on a totally another level now, and we are quite satisfied with that. Så I Norge vi veldig fornøyd med det vi har bestemt I Norges Rugbyforbund, og vi ønsker virkelig å utvikle Rugby League fremover og gjøre dette til en stor norsk folkeidrett.
Are you underdogs today?
Yes, we actually are. We went into the Czech game last year as prominent winners, but we lost. We went into the German game last year as underdogs. And we beat them. Today we're underdogs, and I'm pretty sure Norway will come out as winner today.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you after the match.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, confidence from the Norwegian camp then. They arrive here having won one of their 2 qualifying games. They did it the hard way, as he said, expected to beat the Czech Republic. They were beaten by 20 points to 12, but then they went on to beat the German side and did very, very well indeed to do that and qualify on points difference. Team's about to come out then onto the surface here at the New River Stadium. It's quite a healthy contingent of Norwegian supporters around us here, making plenty of noise. They want their side. It's been a big week for rugby league in Norway, with the sport being officially recognised now. And as we saw in the interview there, they can now go after funding to try and improve their facilities, their competition, and hopefully kick on from here what has been already, you'd have to say, a pretty decent qualifying campaign for them. The winner of this game will go on to the next qualification round, a group of 3, where they will take on Scotland and Russia. The top 2 of that group will then qualify for the Rugby League World Cup here in England in 2021. Teams are coming out of the dressing rooms away to our left-hand side.
Second row forwards are Theodoros Nianakis.
The referee, Cameron Worsley, an Englishman in charge here in London this afternoon. Greece in their blue and white shirts.
And number 14, Aris Darmanatis. 15, Panatelis Satalas. Number 18.
The Norwegians in their red, waiting to come out onto the surface here. It's a big day for both these fledgling Rugby League nations, and who is going to come out on top. Let's give you the team lineups then for Norway. They've got Stephen Mikaria at fullback, Casey Diggs, Christopher Bursheim, Frederick Nordturn and Bendik Kalvik in the back line. It's Nathan Cummings and Simon Viljoen at half-back. Up front, in the front row, Sam Mullins, Christopher Milligan, Ezra McIntyre, Nils Christian Holt, Christian Norden Skipnes and Brett Harvey. On the bench for the Norwegians, Sonny Meller, Chris Stalsberg, Lucas Zaniga and Joshua Skidmore Hornby.
Second row forwards are Niels Christian Holt and number 12, Christian.
For the Greek side then, Terence Constantin, who plays at fullback.
13, Brett Harvey, and the subs.
Ionis Narke, Kostas Katsadinis.
15, Chris Stalsberg, number 16, Lucas Zaniga, and number 17.
Yeah, so it's Mark Wilson here at the New River Stadium alongside Steve Mascord, who we heard earlier on from with a pitch side interview. Steve will be joining us in the commentary box here as soon as the action gets underway at the New River Stadium. So just to give you that Greek team then, Terence Konstantinou at fullback, the back line of Ionis Narke, Kostas Katsadinis, Dimos Katsanakis and Nicholas Korkakis in the back line. It's Nikos Bosmos and Jordan Meads in the half-back position. Stefan Bastos, Peter Mamazelos, Ioannis Rosoglu in the front row. It's Theodoros Naniakis, Grigoris Koutsin-Bijorgios and Robert Tuilatu in the pack. And on the bench, Aris Dardamanis, Pantelos Tsalios, Georgios Tsiakos and Ioannis Dimarkas. We're going to have the national anthems now of both these two teams here at the New River Stadium. Both national anthems really well received in the stadium. There is this afternoon's referee, Cameron Worsley. A big day for him as well. As the two teams now meeting the dignitaries, who will make their way along the line, introducing themselves to those Greek players who potentially, both these sides, just 3 games away from the Rugby League World Cup here in England in 2021. What a tremendous achievement it will be for either of these two sides to progress through this game today. Greece the favourites, no doubting about that. Steve Georgalis and Jim Pizanios have put together this side that they feel can get the victory here in London. Despite all the troubles in their homeland, they have performed magnificently in qualification and are looking forward to going one step further for them. The dream is not ready to end today. Dave Hunter's Norwegian side, well, they are up against it here, but they've got the talent in their side, well represented by a whole host of Norwegian sides. And they are hoping that they can cause an upset here today, just like they did when they went to Germany and won against the odds to secure their spot here as European Championship C North winners. I guess it's at times like this for the players, they just really do want to get on with it, but these are the things that come with international rugby league football. And they'll be hoping there'll be plenty more of it to come with qualification games against Scotland and Russia, should they be victorious today. Grand occasion here, plenty of fans in from both sides. They've come to enjoy the day out and make the best of it here as we are ready for action now. The dignitaries are done. It's time for the rugby league to start. Greece in the blue and white, the red of Norway. So it's going to be Greece who will kick off then, as Norway drop back inside their own half, going from right to left as we look down from the main stand here. Ready for action. The Rugby League World Cup has been safely encased in its box, ready for another outing at the next qualification games. We're almost set for action. Greece to get us underway here. And away they go, the kick downfield, it bounces on this artificial surface, it's picked up at the back by Norway. Steve Mascott, you've been down at pitch side, our co-commentator today. Nerves are plenty, I think.
Yeah, plenty of nerves, but what a great day for rugby league. Mark, you might have already mentioned, but we've got a game at the new camp in Barcelona. We've got Nines tournament on in Toronto a bit later on today. And of course here, a sudden death World Cup qualifier between two teams who never come this far in the tournament. So very exciting times for the game. It is indeed, as Milligan jumps out a dummy half for the Norwegian. He gets up to the 30-metre line. He'll play the ball now. They're going to move it to this near side. Here they go forward with Harvey. Harvey is wrapped up. It's the last one then here for the Norwegians. A little bit disorganised at the back there. They get the ball away though, and it's kicked downfield by Cummings. High in the air. It's well taken by the Greek side, who come forward and will start on their own 30. I think the Greek side will be quite happy, Steve, with that opening set. Yeah, they will. I met young Cummins. I met his father just before the game. Very proud. Came over from Australia to watch him play. And the Greeks obviously, we've got a lost ball here. That is a big boost. It is. Ionis Naki has dropped the ball, says the referee. So Norway getting off to a good start here. And, you know, whatever some people will make of these European qualifiers, as you just said, Steve, we're seeing new countries involved. The dream, these guys are 3 games away from the World Cup. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah, the ambassador for Norway is here today, which is, you know, an incredible thing for our sport in a country where it's more or less unheard of. And I know the players are really buzzing to be here in a country where rugby league is a big sport, and they want to put their best foot forward, Norway, and they do just that.
They do. Frederick Nordturn takes the ball in then on the first carry from the scrum. There's going to be a scoop from dummy half from Warikra. He gets punished there. He didn't quite get in the right position. He got pushed back. He's got the scrum cap on. He's 30 yards out from the try line. They're going to go to the right-hand side now. Short pass, was that forward? I think no, the referee thought about blowing the whistle, but he said play on, and it's taken in by the Norwegian side. Here they are. They've got bodies out the back. They're going to try and keep it alive, and the referee, I think, has given a penalty against Norway. I think the Norwegian runner there went through the line behind his own man, and it's a penalty, the first of the game, that goes the way of the Greeks.
Yeah, in our game, if you're not used to watching rugby league, you're not allowed to obstruct the defence by taking the ball behind a teammate. But I'm sure Mark will agree that most often we only see those penalties or those decisions when a try has been scored, or at least there's a suggestion of a try being scored. So that would be considered quite a technical penalty.
It would indeed, it would. Greece have the ball then on halfway, looking to try and put in a first attacking set, but the defence from the Norwegians is strong in the middle of the park. As now we have Mamazelos in at dummy half. He pops the ball away, and it's taken forward by Tuliatu, of course, who is a London Scholars player. This is his home ground in the domestic rugby league season here in England. His team are in action after this game as the ball taken forward by Kutsim Georgios. He's tackled just on the 30. They'll go to this near side now. Tuliatu gets his hands on the ball, short pass, but it's put down, and that will be a turnover. And you can see already, Steve, there's a lot at stake for these lads. We can't overestimate just what is at stake for these fellas, and maybe just a little bit of the runner's not in the right place. The pass is not at the moment quite going to hand.
Yeah, the teams have actually been here in London, Mark, for a number of days. The Greek team's been here for 3 or 4 days, staying in quite a nice hotel. Spent a little bit of time with the Norwegian team yesterday at their Constitutional Day celebrations there in Southwark Park. And they were very, very relaxed, trying to take their mind off the game. But everyone handles the pressure a little bit differently. Some of these guys are laughing and joking with the referee on the way out. Others look like they're about to walk the plank.
Yeah, they do. Here's Borsheim, who's made a good start there. Good carry from him. Gets the Norwegians up to the 40-metre line. 4 gone here. It's still 0-0 as a determined carry. And again, the tackles are certainly hitting at the moment. Just short of halfway. Norway have it now. They'll go with Milligan, the captain. Gets the pass away. Big carry there. And the fans here certainly enjoyed it. They're making plenty of noise here at the New River Stadium. As the ball now with Milligan. He'll run across the field. Gets it away to Cummings. Cummings ships the ball out wide. Can he get it out to the wing? No. And it's a one-on-one steal. Well, the referee is saying that the ball was knocked on there. In rugby league, if it's a one-on-one tackle, you can pinch the ball, and the Greeks have done that. They couldn't keep hold of it, but the referee said because Norway lose the ball, it's a scrum head and feet to Greece.
Yeah, I think also Norway would be pleased so far because they are underdogs. There's some very experienced players who've played in the Southern Hemisphere for Greece. One of the fellas I met before the game, Jordan Meads, he played for Junior Kiwis, and he was very cruisy. Halfback about to play an international. Was like he was just walking down the milk bar to play the pinball. So, as you say, I think keeping them at bay, good so far from Norway.
It could be, but the first line right there comes from Konstantinou, who scored tries in the 2 qualification games that got Greece to this stage. Norway comes shooting out of the line. They didn't quite get the tackle. And all of a sudden, Greece have got their first real chance at the Norwegian line. They're going to go short now. Up the middle they'll go, carrying the ball 20 metres out. Big chance here and big questions to be asked of the Norwegian defence as they jump out and go alone there. That was Mamazelos, the number 9, trying to dictate play. There's the ball 15 away. And we're going to get a penalty here for messing about the play of the ball. The Norwegian player didn't get out of the way, and it's a penalty. Now, this is interesting. It's, 15 metres out. If they kick for goal, they get a simple 2 points. But, Steve, it looks like they're going to run it. It does. Here goes the tap then. It's taken forward by Kutsim Georgios. He's tackled 5 metres away. Again, Mamazelos in at dummy half. He looks down the short side. They're trying to power their way over. That time it was a big carry. Again, as a tackle made on the try line. Mamazelos gets the ball away. Here's Tuliatu. Tuliatu steps out of one. He's going for the line and he's over. first try of the afternoon, and it goes the way of the man who is a London scholar. Robert Tuliatu has crashed over at the side of the post to score, and Greece take advantage of the penalty. They lead here by 4 points to 0. Brute strength in the end. Steve Mascord gets the Greeks over. He would indeed. What a start for the Greece side. Tuliatu, the man who, as Steve said, could be playing for the Scholars this afternoon, but he's on international duty. And he gets the first points of the day. And this should be a pretty routine shot at goal then here to get the lead up to 6 points. Here they go then, right-footed, short run up, and a flag. Oh, he's hit the post, so a relatively simple conversion, and in a game that could ultimately be very, very tight, that was not the start that they wanted. This is one, Steve, we're writing it in the books. He should have got it. He's completely shanked it. He's hit the post.
Yeah, that is something that rugby league players that come to agree for years. Having 2 points in this match. Of course, if you're not used to watching rugby, you've either got to
That takes the score to Greece 4, Norway 0.
at all. The conversion attempt, that's where you add 2 points to the 4 points you got from the try, is taken at the position of the field where the ball is put down. So if you put the ball down out near the sideline, you have to convert from way out near the sideline. It's considered very, very hard. If you put the ball down with the post, that's considered quite desirable because it gives your goal an easier assignment. That was an easy assignment.
No, it wasn't. Meads catches the kickoff, having missed the goal. Even then, you mentioned how laid back he was before the start. He was laughing and joking at himself, but I'm sure inside he was really angry. He didn't take advantage of that. But Greece will be happy here with the opening 9 minutes or so. They lead by 4, and Norway have got some more defending to do just on the edge of the Greece 20-yard line. Here's Tuliatu, but the referee has said that was a forward pass from Mamazelos. Well, having scored the points, Steve, they'll want to make sure they don't make an error. That's exactly what they've done. They've invited Norway straight back.
Yeah, pretty much nothing has gone right since that try was scored. And then a forward pass from Dummy Half. That's one of the most basic errors you can make in rugby league. Should be possible to time your pass when you ball being played and first run it, not have to go forward. That didn't happen either.
It didn't. Here's Borsheim again. He looks a threat. I like the look of the centres for Norway. Nordturn and Borsheim both seen a little bit of ball. Here's Wickeria, the fullback. He's in at dummy half. He's up to the 20. They'll now look at Milligan, the captain. The ball's gone straight between his legs. Referee said that's a knock on. I wasn't sure he got a touch on that. But again, we've seen little unforced errors that are probably telling us how big a situation this is for some of these guys.
Yes, again, I think we talked about nerves, and apologies to the viewers if you couldn't hear me. Maybe that was a blessing. The last couple of comments were a bit muffled, but obviously you talked about nerves before kickoff there, Mark, and there obviously are plenty of nerves. It's the pitch is also a bit unusual for fellas who may be used to playing on a more organic surface, so the ball does tend to skid around a bit more than you would otherwise expect.
It does. So Greece leading by 4 points, have the ball back. They're up to the 40-metre line. Here now goes Mamazelos, the number 9. This time he finds his man, taken forward by Stefanos Bastas, the Doncaster player here in England. Here's Mamazelos, shoots out a dummy half. It's a good run. He's broken the line. Now he needs some support. He stumbles on the surface, but he still gets the pass away. And now there's a chance if they go out wide. A great shot rattles the ball loose. And the referee has called play back. He's called it back for a knock-on. I thought that ball possibly went backwards, Steve, but I tell you what, that was some tackle there. There was a big chance for Greece to get the ball out wide, but Norway, they're looking for the big hits, and they found one right when they needed one. Yeah,
that's right, and maybe some of those penalties conceded earlier, Mark, were down to trying to slow down this more experienced Greek team. They conceded some penalties earlier, and they want them to be able to line up these hits. They want them to be able to hurt. They want the Greeks to second guess because they know they've got some creative players, particularly the halfback who we've mentioned a couple of times already, Jordan Meads. But it's a scrum win there to Norway.
Yeah, it is, and they get the ball with Brett Harvey from the base of the scrum. He goes down the short side of the field, still 4-0 to Greece, but I think Norway's confidence just be boosted by that as they take a run with Diggs over the 40-metre line. They've just come up with a couple of big defensive plays, a slow play of the ball. They want to try and make sure they're cutting out these unforced errors as the Greek defenders in the middle of the park, 4 of them in the tackle, making life difficult for the Norwegian runners as they come out to this near side. Ball taken forward. There's half a line break there from Niels Christian Holt, who is tackled just over the halfway line. Better again from Norway. Greece defending very narrow. They're going down the short side here. Can they keep their ball alive? Well, they've offloaded it, but it's being knocked on, I think. Now, the referee may well call this against Greece, and that will mean it's a scrum head and feet to Norway. They're going to get another set of 6 tackles here, 30 metres out from the line. So they've just weathered a little bit of a storm early on here, Steve, and they're now starting to get some go forward of their own. Yeah, and this is if they can hold on to the ball, Mark. This is where we get to see what they can do in attack. We get to see some of their more flashy players. I mean, they've got an American military athlete there, Casey Diggs. They've got on the wing a sprinter of some renown. Let's see them with the ball. Well, he's got it now. Rather fortuitous as he bounced to him, but he bumps off one tackle, and he'll be tackled 35 out from the try line. So a little bit unconvincing, the ball from the scrum, but they've got it and they keep it. And they come forward here with Norden Skipnes. He's wearing number 12 today, 30 metres out from the line. In at dummy half is Milligan. Milligan pops up the pass. It's driven in now by Ezra McIntyre. McIntyre will take the ball forward. Ball's being knocked on, though, by Norway, and they come up with the error. And there's a stoppage in play here. As a man down. It was Nikos Bosmos, the Rhodes Knight halfback. He's down injured. Referee said, we'll get on with it. As Bosmos is fit to carry on here at the New River Stadium, where Greece lead by 4 points to 0. Yeah, they look a little bit discombobulated in attack, the Norwegians, don't they? They're just sort of struggling a little bit to find their rhythm. I'm sure we'll see it before the end of the game, but we've just got to make sure they're not down from their point of view. They're not behind by too far when they do manage to find that groove. Now they've got to defend another set of 6 with Greece taking the ball out of their own quarter. They have indeed. It's been an interesting start for both these sides. Greece highly fancied by many experts before. What a tackle that was! A real smashing tackle. I think it was Ezra McIntyre. He certainly didn't miss. Whoa, you won't want to be running into some of these shots at the moment. The ball's come free again. It's picked up by Mamazelos. He scampers up to halfway, and all of a sudden it's Greece who look a little bit rattled at the moment. And now, as I say that, Norway concede a penalty. Oh, now they concede a penalty, but Meads there was a little bit of a push out at the fullback Wickeria, but the referee's in there. And Norway have already conceded a couple of penalties, Steve. They're going to have to learn very quickly. If they're going to concede penalties, they're going to concede points. Yeah, you can tell they like, coaches tell players you've got to enjoy defence as much as you enjoy attack. It's a mentality. And I think this Norway team actually does. They don't need to be told. They enjoy defence more than they enjoy attack. They love belting their opponents. And there was a little bit of a push. And that they say the referee never changes his mind. In that situation, sometimes he does. So they want to be a little bit careful there, the Greeks, and particularly their Jordan Meads. Yeah, ball then coming forward here from the tap. 6 tackles to go as it's driven in by Bastas, the Doncaster player. He's tackled. Will play the ball now. Here they go up the middle. 10 metres out. Chance here then for the Greek side to maybe double their advantage as a try scorer Tulliata. Now they've got numbers. If they go through hands, they're going to walk in at the corner. And it's Terence Constantinou who slides in. He scored in the group victories and he scores again here, Constantinou. It was too simple for the Greek side. They just had the numbers, and this time the execution was right. They double their lead. Norway 0, Greece 8. Yeah, the penalty. Often we say in rugby league, penalty, try. If you concede
a penalty, make a mistake, you are going to concede a try. Terry Constantin, a good story actually, from one rugby league outpost to another. He plays for Sunbury Tigers in Victoria, which is not a hotbed of rugby league in Australia. And he actually played last year, or 2017 now, against England. I was at that game at the NIB Stadium in Perth. So he played against England only 2 years ago, and he's joined the squad. They've come from all 4 points of the compass, this Greek side, and they now have an 8-0 lead with this kick to come.
They do, and interesting, look, Peter Mamazelos is going to line up this shot from the sideline, just a metre or so in. It's a tough kick on the right boot. Here comes the kick. Oh, it's a horrible effort. Well, clearly that is a problem that the Greece side have got. They had no problem scoring the tries. They've got the problem kicking the goals after them. It remains 8 points to 0, and see, we keep talking about what a tight game it could be. They're throwing points away off the kicking team.
Yeah, that's right. It's 4 points for a try and 2 points for a goal if you're watching in Norway. So your side, they could be down by only 2 with just one converted try now. So they are really, their effort is being aided. Their cause is being aided by those misconversions. And normally in rugby league too, and in rugby union, teams stick with one kicker. So obviously there is a bit of dissatisfaction in the Greek camp with the goal kicking, because they're sharing the duties around. Hopefully they'll find the right man for the job before the end of the game.
Yeah, well, they'll be hoping to get plenty more attempts at goal as Meads catches the ball. It's another big shot. This time the tackle coming in from Frederick Nordturn. It was a good shot as well, and stop the runner in his tracks as they try and scoop the ball forward. But again, the Norwegians, they do enjoy the defensive side of it. There's 3 and 4 in the tackle, much to the delight of the Norwegian fans around us here at the New River Stadium. Here's Tuilatu, slips, and already 3 tackles into the set. They're still locked inside their own 20-metre areas. They'll now come forward. Greece, that's a better run, a good sidestep. Gets them over the 30-metre line, where a good tackle came in from Villiers. As now they go with Mamazelos down the short side. Good hands this time. Can they break the line? They've got support on the outside. It's a chance for Nianiakis. He's going to run in towards the post for the 3rd Greek try. And Theodoros Nianiakis, the Aris Eagles man, scores the try and celebrates with his teammates. It's a 3rd Greek try of the afternoon, and they lead here at the New River Stadium by 12 points to 0.
Yes, he's a Green Beret paratrooper, Nianiakis, and he's parachuted in there to support that little break. Got behind the line there and slipped out that ball, the Greek attack. And the big second rower coasted to the try line, about a 30-metre run, something like that. And really, I just think the extra experience of this Greek team is really starting to tell. There's some guys who've played at quite a high level overseas in the Southern Hemisphere, and also, as we've mentioned, here in England. And that experience will tell more and more as this game wears on. It's going to become harder for the Norwegian team to line up these fellas with the big hits. And we've got Jordan Meads lining up the conversion.
And this time, thankfully, from a Greek fan's perspective, the flag's go up. The kick is good. Finally, they kick one off the tee. But Greece in command here. 19 gone. They lead by 14 points to 0.
Smashed some plates on the ground. They've finally converted a try, the Greek side. And they're very much in control here at New River Stadium. For those who've never been to New River Stadium, it's in North London. It's near the Wood Green area. It is the home of London Scholars, who play in the 3rd level of British competition here, and they actually have a partnership with the Toronto Wolfpack, who you may have heard of, who are a professional team based in Toronto, playing away games in England. So this is really one of 2 centres for rugby league here in London, the other being the Trailfinders ground at Ealing, where there is a game on this afternoon. London Broncos are hosting Wakefield.
They are indeed. The restart then for Norway. You get the feeling they need to stop the flow of points here, but they're struggling a little bit at the moment. It's all right making the big shots in the middle of the field. They've got to defend on the edges as well, as another determined run from Greece gets them up to the 30-metre line. They lead by 14 points to 0. 3 tries already for Tuliatu, Constantinou and Nianiakis. Means that Greece are firmly in control here as Meads looks for the little kick over the top. He turns the fullback round, and the chase is a quick one. He's going to have to deal with this, the fullback. Will he get out of his in goal? Oh, he's done really well, the fullback. He needs to get to the ground. Great play from Stephen Wikaria, the Trondheim fullback. That's brilliant play from the fullback, because that was a good kick and an excellent chase.
Yeah, he could hear the footsteps, couldn't he? And he still had the composure to regather the ball and get a couple of metres before succumbing in the tackle. Now, though, his teammates have got a fair assignment on their hands to get out of their quarter in this set of 6.
Yeah, here comes Mullins of the Bodo Barbarians. He's tackled 15 away from his own line. Now they'll move it towards that far side, looking to get the ball on the edge. That's a great pass. Gets Borsheim away, but it's a wonderful tackle just when it looked. And I think he's got an injury here, Borsheim. He's crumpled on the floor, and the players quickly alerted the medical staff. He's grimacing on the floor. And for those of you new to the sport of rugby league, the players very, very rarely stay down injured. But he clearly got a bit of trouble there, Borsheim.
Yeah, Christopher Borsheim. He, as you mentioned earlier, I think, he scored 4 tries against Germany. He's one of 4 players in this team from the Stavanger Storm, and there was immediate alarm there from his teammates and from.
I think he's actually banged his head, Steve, hasn't he? I think there's actually a little bit of a cut on his head. I think he banged into the knee or the shin of the defender. It's completely accidental, but like you said, he's one of their star men. They don't want him injured at the moment.
No, that's right. And in rugby league, we have something called the head bin. So you go off for a head injury assessment if you have had a knock to the head. Again, the trainer's just talking to him, making sure he remembers his name, what club he plays for.
There's plenty of blood there as well, so he clearly has taken a knock there. Now, be interesting what they do here.
Yeah, it's an unusual one, isn't it, Mark? Whether he caught the boot of an opponent, perhaps, because normally when you see, we're just going to look at a replay now and just see how he got this injury. Yeah, he's collided with an opponent's knee there, and it's not the ground, it's not the turf that caused him to pull him up short. It was actually an opponent's knee. And now he's off. He's having a little break. He'll have a head injury assessment, and there'll be a decision as to whether he's able to return.
I guess the problem is as well, he's got that wonderful long flowing locks. They've got to find out where the cut is first before they can stop the blood, haven't they?
You've got a similar problem, haven't you?
It wouldn't take them that long to find a cut on my head, Steve. As you well know, here's a chance for Norway up the middle. They're showing some good determination here. They may be 14 down on the scoreboard, but they're playing with some real gusto. They just need to find a bit of quality when it really matters. Here they go now, moving the ball out wide. They go for the intercept with Meads, who puts it down. That'll mean it'll be 6 more tackles, and they'll start again. Meads, you could see the half-back in him there was hunting for that error, and he just couldn't quite haul the ball in. But Norway now will move the ball out near side with Niels Christian Holt. He's tackled on the 40-metre line. In at dummy half is Milligan. Ball popped up, driven forward by Mullins. They're getting some good go forward, Norway, but they need to create something off the back of it. They're going to look to the short side. Little scoop from dummy half from Cummings. He's wrapped up 15 away. Which side are they going to go? They're going to go to that right-hand side. Little chip kick over the top. They're going to try and chase it. What's the bounce like? It's picked up on the Greek line, and they survive. That was a good little kick there from Viljoen, but Greece survive, and now they have to bring the ball off their own line.
Pretty much the best passage of attack we've seen from Norway. We can see what they can do. They've got a smart little dummy half. The halves have got a nice little kicking game, and that's where they think they're going to score their points. So when they get down this end again, expect the set to finish with a little short kick like that. And the short kick isn't really utilised in the sort of Super League NRL as much as it used to be, actually. So it's good to see it.
Tuliatu on the end of what looked a forward pass, and in fairness to the referee Cameron Worsley, he's been consistent. He thought the pass was forward, and to be fair to the big fella, Tuliatu just needs to hold his run back half a yard. See, he's making great progress every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, well, we can't say that the surroundings are unfamiliar to him, because this is his home ground. The second game, by the way, this afternoon is a English League One game between London Scholars, who, as I mentioned, are based here at New River, and they're playing Doncaster. So that game kicks off about an hour after this one finishes.
It does. Here goes the ball, short, taken forward by Nordturn. He's wrapped up, but they were offside at the scrum. So that means then that Norway will get another 6 tackles here, 20 metres out from the line. They trail by 14. They would have the option to kick at goal here, but 2 points at the moment, not really any value. They need more than that. They need a try here to get themselves back in the picture as they'll go here out the back to Harvey. Harvey sidesteps one. He's tackled 12 metres out. Big test this of the Greek defence. Can Norway get to the end of the set? They're going to fire the ball away to Viljoni. Dummies, he goes himself, but he's wrapped up. Good defence from Greece in front of their own post, and it needed to be as well. As the ball now 10 metres out, they're going to come back to the middle of the park. They spin it out the back. Another little run, this time from Cummings. He's wrapped up 8 metres away. They're inching their way closer here. Midway through the tackle set, they'll come back to this near side, driven forward by Skidmore Hornby, one of the substitutes who's on for the Norwegian side. He plays the ball a yard short. They go back here. They're going to utilise the kick. Viljoen goes for the line. He's not quite strong enough. He's pumping the legs, but he's held up a metre away. Last tackle. What are they going to do? They've dropped the ball, and it's a knock-on, and they'll be disappointed with that. Milligan, really disappointed, knocks the ball on the last set. But Norway has some real questions there, and fair play to Greece. They've shown they can score some tries, Steve. They've also shown they can defend their line.
Yeah, I don't think the Greeks look impenetrable by any stretch of the imagination. They have been caught out a couple of times by Norway, and again, it's those short kicks. So those little trick plays in and around the ruck and on the fringes there that have Greece panicking a little bit, but they are very much the best side based on the first 24 minutes of this match.
They are indeed, and they lead through tries from Tuliatu, Konstantinou and Nianiakis. There's another player down injured here. No, he's not injured. It was Niels Christian Holt just moving out of the way. If the ball would have hit him, he could have conceded a penalty, but he rolled out of the way as Tuliatu is tackled on the 40-metre line. Here they go up the middle, another big carry, another big tackle. The collisions are fast and furious, but Greece at the moment are finding the edges as they get the ball out, and another big shot. Well, the Norwegian coach can't criticise the effort of his defenders in the middle of the park. They've been laying the law down as the kick goes high from Meads. It's gone straight up in the air. Now, are they going to even try and catch this Norway? They'll let it bounce, and it bounces to the fullback. And Wickeria takes it forward. He breaks through a tackle, and he's up to the 30. He's done quite well, the fullback, so far.
Handy customer, isn't he? Very, very handy. And obviously there'll be some scouts here, I'd imagine, from English clubs, professional clubs, looking at players on both sides, and it's a big chance to impress.
Well, what is pleasing about this game to expansionists such as you and I, Steve, is that a lot of these players, they're playing domestic rugby league in Greece and in Norway, and that's absolutely fantastic.
That's right, and the Greeks in particular, you know, George Stylianos, who you heard before the game, criticised a little bit for, you know, being all expats. Well, they're not all expats. Have a look at the team, have a look at their clubs. They do have a lot of domestic players in their side. Yeah,
another team as well joining the Greek competition next year to take it up to 6. They have the ball here though, Norway. They're on the attack again. Are they going to go high? Well, the kick chase is a little bit deep from the Norwegians, and the ball taken by Meads, and the ground opens up in front of him. Can he get the pass away? He will. He finds Mamazelos. Mamazelos up and over the 40. Pins his ears back. Has he got the speed? No. Taken down by Milligan, but almost there. Now they've conceded a penalty, Norway, and there could be a yellow card coming here. Something's happened, and it's going to be a yellow card 10 minutes in the sin bin for Fredrik Nordtun, who deemed by the referee to be slowing play down, a professional foul, and Nordtun will get 10 minutes in the bin.
I think he's actually been sent to the sin bin for his moustache there, Mark. I think it's a moustache offence.
Holding down in the tackle, the official. I must admit, I did notice Mr. Nordturn's moustache when I saw him coming out to warm up earlier on. It's interesting.
The match commissioner, as we speak, is pulling out the razor and the soapy water, and it's being removed. And he will not be allowed to re-enter the playing arena until it is completely removed. Penalty to Greece.
Yeah, penalty to Greece. 10 minutes in the sin bin for Fredrik Nordtun. And Greeks still lead by 14 points to 0. And now Greece will think if they can get another score here, Steve, despite the fact there's still over 10 minutes left in the first half, they've got 1 foot in the next qualification group.
And then that raises all sorts of other questions, which we will hit Danny Kazanjian with at halftime.
We will indeed. Ball going forward with Greece, 25 off the line. Good run there from Mamazelos, led to that penalty and the subsequent sin bin. So Norway down to 12 for the next 10 minutes, and Greece will be looking to take advantage as Taliatu gets the ball. Meads has found an edge. He'd looping pass out wide. It's going to be another try. Despite the best efforts of the fullback, they've barged their way over. I think it's Katsanakis that scored in the corner, and he's dived in. All he had to do was catch it and dive in, but that was good rugby league. And again, just using the basic principle, they're a man short on the edge. Meads gets on the outside, he gets the ball high, and it's Dimos Katsanakis, the Rhodes Knights centre, who strolls in for the 4th try.
Yes, and may I be the first person in this call. Can I get in first and call him the Colossus from Rhodes? But no, it was a good try there, and he actually played in this country. Well, not in this country. He played in Wales. Well, I guess it depends if you consider us to be in England or the UK. But he played for West Wales Raiders. Had a bit of a stint there. Returned back to Rhodes Knights, and he's only 23 years old. And he sports a spectacular beard as well. I saw him wandering around the little fan zone we've got off to our left here before the match. And let's see now if our friend Mr. Meads can kick a goal from the sideline, with Greece having missed one from directly in front earlier in this match.
Yeah, well, he's 1 from 2. It's 1 from 3 overall from the ball from the kicking tee. But here is Meads, and he's certainly taken his time over this one. 18 points to lead. Can they extend it by a further 2? Here he comes then, takes a step back, right-footed, will send it on its way. Looks a decent angle, and having missed one from right in front of the post, he nails one from right on the sideline. Jordan Meads adds the extras. It's Norway 0, Greece 20.
He came over to a merch stall I was at before the game and picked up a Kiwi jersey and said, this is the best jumper I've ever worn. And I said, what, you wore this? He said, yeah, I play for the Junior Kiwis. So he's obviously had a very distinguished career, a very talented junior footballer there, Jordan Meads. Plays for Biwa in Australia at the moment, and played Holden Cup for the New Zealand Warriors. Played at Newcastle Thunder over here. I knew I'd seen him somewhere before, in a bar somewhere maybe, but 2014 played for Newcastle Thunder, and of course now on the beautiful Sunshine Coast of New South Wales.
The restart bounces over on the far side. Just want to draw the point to, Robert Taliatu. He got the first try, but he was heavily involved in that passage of play, and him and Meads look to possibly be the quality that the Norwegian side don't have. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what often happens with teams, if you want to add quality to your team, the best place to add it is in the halves and in the back row. And a lot of, if you look around some of these developing countries, where are they most likely to have heritage players? Probably in the halves, because there are skills that you learn playing in the halves growing up that take a long time to acquire. And the players from the historical countries, they just have that gift because they've spent more time with the rugby ball in their hand. Penalty to Greece, I'll stop talking. Yeah, penalty to Greece, more infringements at the play of the ball, and probably Norway's discipline has been as disappointing as their ability to create chances thus far. They keep inviting the opposition in, but they're doing the defending middle of the park. Pleased to see as well that Borsheim, the centre's come back on. He's just there trying to make the tackle. He's got his head bandaged, but the offload comes in, and here's Mamazellos, slips the ball out wide on the far side. Could be another try coming here as they go forward with Katsanakis. He's just scored one. He wants another one. Racked up 5 away, but Norway all of a sudden are looking a bit tired, but they've been helped by a knock-on at the play of the ball here from Katsanakis. So Norway survive, but they're looking more and more threatening here, the Greek side. Yeah, they certainly are. They certainly are. Lots of poise, lots of power, and I would guess that a lot of these guys would get more time to train than the Norwegian guys. Sonny Mellor packing down in the front row there. He was saying, that these guys have got to work long hours, drop off the kids, eat dinner, and then train. And it's very hard when you've got other guys who are part-time footballers and you're playing against guys who are paid to play rugby league. Yeah, it is. But the attitude will be that they will make time and do it. Brett Harvey brings the ball forward, 20 off his own line. Milligan gets it away. They turn it back on the inside, and that is Sonny Mellor. Drives it forward, 25 off his own line. Great story, Sonny. Great story. We'll get to it at some point. Ball going out the back now. They're trying to move the ball out wide, and they've got a chance here. Borsheim away, gets the ball away to Casey Diggs. Diggs goes for the line, but he just had to check back in. There was a swing. That looked a high tackle. but they have got a threat on that right-hand side. He was tackled there, Diggs, maybe not quite realising the tackle was complete, but Borsheim showing that knock on the head hasn't done him too much damage as he got the ball away to Diggs. Better again from Norway. There's a big support here at the New River Stadium in London. They want to see their team get over for some points if they can in this first half. They go high here with Cummings, a high kick. Fullback waits for it. Constantinou is tackled in the air. That will be a penalty. They're not allowed to touch him while he's in the air with the ball in his control. And that was a bit of a naughty one there. Constantinou, he's got a smile on his face, Steve, but it could have been a little bit dangerous, that, the tackle in the air. Yeah,
there's Sonny Mellor. He was actually involved in the tackle. And then he kind of checked to see that Constantinou was okay. Now, the story about Sonny, as you can see, he was born with 1.5 arms. He's from Cairns, and he moved with his wife to Norway. He played representative Aussie rules in Australia, played representative rugby league, went to school with Justin Hodges, and he was told in primary school, you can't play football because of your disability, and he said, I'll prove you wrong, and he certainly has. Here he is in a World Cup qualifier playing here in London. So a great story, Sonny Mellor.
It is indeed, and for those of you that don't know, physical disability here in England, the rugby league side of it is really coming on. I can tell you, having played a couple of games last year, Steve, some of those athletes, they will go on if they get a chance to play like Sonny Mellor is doing, playing professional rugby league. Yeah, it sort of happens almost spontaneously over the last 5 years that the women's game, disability rugby league, and other variants have just almost organically grown and gained enormous support, and it's a groundswell of public support. Well, here's another break though. There could be a try here for Meads. Pins his ears back. He hasn't got the pace. Dragged down on the last one as Greece looking for their 5th try. They've got the last tackle. They're going to swing it wide. Have they got the numbers on this near side? They'll get round the outside. Mamazello steps through and he will dive in. And Greece surely now booking their spot in the next round of qualification games. They dive in from close range, and it's Mamazellos who scores, a South Sydney man, and Greece lead by 24 points to 0.
And when we talk about the pedigree in this Greek side, Mamazellos is a current Jersey flag player for the South Sydney Rabbitohs, played in the Emerging Nations last year in Sydney for Greece. So here's a guy who is earmarked to play NRL. He was very, very excited to score that try. Maybe looking at that replay, he resented maybe a tackle just after the try was scored there. I didn't see anything untoward myself, but pretty psyched. As I say, a guy who is could end up, playing, wearing Mario Fenix jersey, playing for South Sydney over here in London, representing his country, and it looks like he's pretty much guaranteed them a spot in the next round, and they will play Russia and Scotland, I believe. And there is a big question as to whether they will be allowed to host the game in Greece. But we'll talk to Danny Kazanjian about that at half-time, whether he wants to be asked about it or not.
Well, we'll ask the question as Jordan Meads with the ball on the kicking tee. He's just kicked one from the sideline, so he'll want to add the extras here. Still more Norway fans arriving by the moment. They'll be disappointed with the scoreline, but not through the effort of their men, as Meads with a ball on the kicking tee looking to boot the Greeks 26 points in front. He's hit the post, but this time it goes over the crossbar, and Greece lead by 26 points to 0 here at the New River Stadium.
It's like he's doing it for fun. It's like if I've got a goal from in front, I'm going to try really hard to miss it or try really hard to hit a post, because I can kick it from the sideline. I've got no problem with that, but I want to give my teammates in the crowd here a bit of entertainment. So let's see if I can hit an upright and get a bit of a roar from the crowd. But in and over there for Greece, and with 3 minutes left in this first half, World Cup qualifier, rugby league here at New River Stadium in London. Greece 26, Norway 0.
Yeah, just a few minutes to go to half-time as they'll restart play with a high kick towards the try line. It's taken rather unconventionally there at the back and driven forward. And they'll start their set about 12 metres off their own line, the Greek side, as they bring the ball forward with Naki on the far side. He's Takafat was Koukakis, my apologies. Here is Tuliatu. Tuliatu again breaks the line, gets it to Mamazelos. He's slipped past the fullback, and Mamazelos is racing away for 70 metres to score at the side of the post. And if there was any doubt Greece were going to win before, surely all that has gone now. It's try number 6 as what's been an emphatic first half from the Greece side. And 2 tries in 2 minutes for Peter Mamazelos. Greece, their World Cup dream will continue. They lead by 30 points to 0.
And that's a modern hooker in our game. Back in the days, a modern hooker's job was to kick his opponent in the shins, pass the ball from dummy half, and make a ton of tackles. But in the modern rugby league, you make breaks and you back up breaks. You trail down the middle and you sniff for opportunities and you score tries like that. And that is the modern hooker in 30 seconds, really. Mamazelos with that try. And I actually this week speaking to Shane Richardson, the CEO at South Sydney, very, very excited about Mamazelos and what he can become in that club. One of the most famous clubs we have in rugby league.
He's a very slight fella, isn't he? But he's clearly got some pace about him. He's got some determination. 2 tries in 2 minutes for him. But again, it was the offload, wasn't it? Tuliatu and Meads, Tuliatu, and now Mamazelos. They're ripping the Norwegians apart.
Yes, they are. Yeah. I mean, we call, again, it's a modern phrase. We never talked about it in the 80s or the 90s, but the spine of a team, which is from fullback through the halves to hooker. They're the people who determine results more often than not in rugby league. Now let's see if our mate Meady here, if he Jordan Meads, we'll see if he gives us a laugh again by trying to miss from directly in front. Maybe he wants to hit the crossbar this time. Oh no!
Straight between the middle.
It's gone over. That was a bit boring.
No doubting about that one. And it's a comprehensive lead of 32 points to 0 now for Greece. And the one worry you'd have for Norway now, Steve, is they are going to tire as this game goes on. And you get the feeling that the Greeks, who put 60 points on Malta in qualifying, they're not going to stop, are they? They're going to keep going.
No, I think we might be reaching for the record books if they printed record books anymore. I think we'll be reaching for the internet in the second half. Not to say that the records will be broken, but at least they'll be threatened. And certainly the trend of this game is that there could be quite a score run up. But let's not underestimate and undersell the Norwegians. They're ambassadors here today. They've got plenty of reasons to play. And this is the furthest they've ever been in World Cup qualifying, so it's something to celebrate. Now, I've got another injury here.
Yeah, it's Pantelis Tsitsalios who's gone down. The Rhodes Knight, he took it in and his knees crumpled. He's got it heavily bandaged as well, and he looks quite angry, as almost like his body's let him down here. And the big fella, he had to wait for his chance off the bench. He sent a couple of big carries in, but maybe his body there has just let him down, and he's in some agony at the moment as he looks at that right knee rather forlornly. So an injury there for the big fella. And Pantelis Tsitsalios. So the injury being assessed as we speak. We are in stoppage time, if you like. The 40 minutes has been played here, but Pantelis Tsitsalios, the Rhodes Knights forward, is taking on some treatment here, and it's, you'd have to say, looking highly doubtful at the moment whether or not he can continue. There's certainly some concern on the faces of the staff down there at pitch side. Well, he's got up. He's going to try and run this off. He's waved away the physio. I tell you, they are tough boys, these rugby league players. He's going to try and carry on, but this may be more out of frustration than anything else as we play on. Oh, that looked a high shot there, not given. And that is the half-time hooter that goes here at the New River Stadium. where so far it is so good for the Greek side, who are in absolute control here at the New River Stadium. They're running 6 tries in that first half as they make their way towards the huddle. And it is half-time in this Rugby League European Championship qualification game. The 2 Group C winners of North and South are doing battle, and it's Greece who lead at the break by 32 points to 0. So Greece leading then 32 points to 0. They got their first try inside the opening 10 minutes, and it's a man who plays his club rugby on this ground, Robert Tuliatu, that spun his way out of a couple of would-be tackles and barged his way over. Great strength from the loose forward that put Greece on the road. And then shortly after, another try. The fullback Constantinou slides over the line, having made the gap. It was Meads moving the ball wide. And then here, the ball out to Constantinou, and he scored in both the previous qualification games, and he scores again today. He's really having a wow of a series, the Sunbury Tigers man who scores the try. Then came a wonderful try for the back rower, Theodoros Nianakis, who was fed on halfway. It was the hooker, wasn't it, Manazelos, that made the break. And there was Theodoros Nianakis, who slid in to score the 3rd try. That put Greece 14-0 in front. And after Frederick Nordturn had been sent to the sin bin, then Dimos Katsanakis moved out wide and strolled over to score in the corner, despite the best attentions of the fullback. He got the ball down, and that made it a 20 points to 0 lead, just 10 minutes short of half-time. Then came the 5th try, and a first for Mamazelos. Slipped a couple of tackles here and dived between some desperate defending. And again, the fullback just couldn't stop the try. Mamazelos celebrates, bangs the ball into the floor because he knew that his team one step nearer the World Cup. And then it was on the end of a lovely pass here from Tuliatu. And Mamazelos with a pace to scamper away gives us the half-time score of Norway 0, Greece 32.
Federation. Everyone at home or on their phones, wherever they're watching, it's a game of rugby league, but I guess to the RLIF it represents a little bit more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the culmination of European Championship C, which is also doubling as one of the World Cup qualifying events. These 2 teams have been in the biggest event of this at this level of its time. And of course we know that the winner's going to qualify for the European World Cup qualifiers proper. And it really represents the growth of the game territorially, and we now have 4 genuine, legitimate territorial World Cup qualification areas of the world. There's more and more countries that are looking to get involved in those territorial areas, as evidenced by the biggest ever World Cup qualifying event in the game's history.
What can you tell us about rugby league in Norway and Greece? Again, I think we've probably got some casual viewers that they're not down on that sort of stuff. So what can you tell us about rugby league in those 2 countries?
It's a seminal week for Norway in particular. On Saturday, the sport received full government recognition. In Norway, they've been playing it for 10 years now. They started with 3 teams. Now they've got 12 clubs and over 500 players. So to have government recognition in Norway really gives them a boost for the next generation. They'll have increased investment in the really important fundamental areas of the game, the technical development, club development and youth development. Greece is a more extraordinary situation. We have our member that is recognised by the International Federation. There is some, I think it's fair to say, political grievances, obstructions that we have in Greece before we can get government recognition, but we know what level we're working towards. We need to get 16 clubs to get sports ministry recognition, and the Greek Rugby League are a dogged, relentless crew, and we've got full faith that working with us that they'll be able to achieve that mark before long.
Will they be able to play a home match in the World Cup qualifiers at the end of this year?
It's impossible for us to say. I mean, assuming that there is no Norwegian comeback and that Greece do win this game, both the International Federation, the European Federation, and indeed the Greek Rugby League Association will speak officially to the Greek government to seek assurances if we can have a home game without molestation. But unfortunately, the hard reality is that over the last year, when official rugby league games have been played or tried to be played in Athens and other areas of Greece, they have been subject to obstruction from this rival group that has a link with the Greek government. So it's a really unfortunate situation. No rugby league player or sports person should have to put up with that level of harassment or obstruction to just playing their sport of choice and exercising their right. But we continue to support the Greek Rugby League Association, and they continue to push forward the boundaries of the sport in Greece. They've added another club this year, and as I say, they're a really impressive, relentless bunch that will keep driving rugby league forward.
More World Cup qualifying over the course of the rest of the year. We've got a match in Sydney on the 21st, and at the end of the year there's a whole raft of matches. One of them, United States versus the winner of that match between South Africa and Cook Islands. That is for a spot in the World Cup. It's a big match. Is there any indication yet as to where that game might be played? There's obviously been some discussions going on.
There has been a decision made. It's not been publicly announced yet. We will be making that announcement within the next week to 10 days. The other matches that you refer to, we've got 6 teams in the European tournament. So Greece, if they hold on to the lead that they've got, will join the group against Scotland and will play away in Russia. And then in the other group, we have Ireland and Italy and Spain, and the top 2 from both groups will qualify for the World Cup in 2021. So it's a really exciting end to the season, and as I say, it's the biggest World Cup qualifying event in the sport's history.
I've got one more for you, Danny, curly one. But in about an hour, there's a game kicking off at Camp Nou in Barcelona. Massive crowd, Wigan taking on Catalans. Rugby League in Spain. Will Rugby League in Spain benefit from this match? What does the match sort of mean for the sport and mainland Europe?
The Spanish Rugby League is not unlike a lot of other national rugby league organisations, where it's got a really strong nucleus of officials and clubs that are driving it forward. The ambition for all of our members is to get government recognition, because government recognition leads to a lot of benefits: use of facilities, access to insurance, direct funding. For Spain being such a large country, government recognition requires 50 clubs. So the added visibility of the game against Wigan will absolutely bring rugby league to a lot of Spaniards' attention that perhaps wouldn't have heard about it before. But for us, it's really just working in this methodical fashion with the local associations, the local federations and their clubs, just to build the grassroots of the sport until we get to that critical mass of clubs that will generate more official recognition to the sport.
Thanks for your time, Danny. Enjoy the second half.
Pleasure.
Thank you to St Michael's School from Highgate. That exhibition of tag rugby. Big round of applause, St Michael's. The second half of today's European Championship C and World Cup qualifying game between Greece and Norway is about to get underway.
Yeah, half-time here, and it's the Greek side that lead by 32 points to 0, as you heard there at half-time. Looking forward to qualification games against Scotland and Russia in November that will determine whether they will be going to the World Cup in England 2021. That man on your screen there is Christopher Borsheim, the Stavanger Storm centre, who got a bad cut on his head in that first half. But he is fit to carry on. His side need a miracle here if they're going to get back involved in this one. They trail by 32 points to 0. And that man there, Robert Tuliatu, who plays his club rugby here in London for the London Scholars, he got the ball rolling with the first try of the day. Norway in red then, if you've just joined us, the Greek in the blue and white. And we're about to get underway here as the kick goes deep, as the ball moved forward here by the Greek side. Interesting chat there, Steve Mascord at half-time. It's a worrying situation that the Greek side face. They can't at the minute realistically play on home soil, but it looks like it's going to be an argument that rumbles on, because as it stands they would have a home fixture in the next round of the Rugby League qualifiers. And we've got another penalty against Norway for a high shot there that wasn't needed on Kukakis. What do you make of that chat you just had with Danny there at half-time?
Yeah, well, it's a quick tap actually, so maybe there isn't time for me to tell you.
Okay, we'll go on. It's Mamazelos, who you get the feeling, having scored 2 tries in that first half, he'll be wanting to get on here and get a hat-trick and grab the headlines as the ball taken forward. Now that's Satalios, who got that knee injury in the first half. Well, he's determined to carry on. He almost spilled the ball there. Here now is Tuliatu. Tuliatu drives it forward. He's wrapped up 25 metres out from the line. Greece starting where they left off on the attack at the end of the first half as they get the ball within the 20. Here's Mamazelos. He gets the ball out wide to the right. Meads. Ball hits a hand and goes down. And the referee said that will be a knock-on. So Greece's first attack of the second half comes to nothing.
Yeah, George Stylianos, who we spoke to before the game, he said that, you know, if they played Scotland in Athens, he thinks they'd get 4,000 or 5,000 people, because people are aware that Scotland is a rugby country. But the big question is that would they be allowed into a decent-sized venue? Would the police show up to shut them down? That has been known to happen. And even if they made the World Cup, let's say they won both their games away, they played in Cumbria or they played in Scotland and they won, which would be a massive upset. Then there's an issue of whether they are the official Greek side, even if they make the World Cup.
Well, interesting. We'll come back to that in a moment. Interesting tactic here from Norway from a scrum on their own line. They kick the ball downfield, but Konstantinou gets there just before Casey Diggs. You mentioned his background as an athlete, and he was quick after that one, but Konstantinou just got first run on him.
When was the last time you saw that in rugby league? That's something we used to see years ago. Now we have such a safety-first game, a risk-averse game, where possession is everything, and you would never see a professional team kick on the first tackle like that. But it almost paid off. It almost brought a try, and I miss those sort of plays. I miss those sort of trick shots.
There's a bravery about it, isn't there? A naivety, if you like, from this Norwegian side. Yes, they're on the wrong end of this one, but they've come through a qualification group by beating Germany. They'll be better for the experience for the next time it comes along. As the ball now moved by Meads, gets it out to that far side. That was a poor pass. It's gone forward in the end. And that was a chance gone begging there. If they'd have executed that properly, they would have crossed for some more points probably, but they couldn't get the pass away on that far side.
Yeah, what I was starting to say is that they actually were challenged in court for even playing away in Serbia. So there is a chance that there will be a legal challenge to them even coming to a World Cup playing away. So it's a minefield.
It is indeed, but that's for another day. On the field, the Greek team are doing their country proud at the moment as they come forward. We just saw Sonny Mellor on the first tackle losing the ball. He had it ripped from underneath his arm, and that was disappointment for Norway. Here now is Tuliatu. He's wrapped up 25 metres out from the try line. He'll swing the ball away to this near side. It's taken forward by Satalios. He's tackled 15 away. He's seemingly shaken off that knee problem. He'll play the ball again. They get it now to Ilatu. He drops it back to Mamazelos. Those two linking up well. Here they go out on this near side, but no way through on this occasion. As they're going to go back in field, Mamazelos gets it away. Here's Tuliatu. Now they've got hands on that far side. If they move the ball out to the wing, what's the cover defence like? It's good. Good work from Norway. They've got the ball back, and that was very pleasing there, Steve. They were out on their feet almost on that far side, but they managed to get bodies around the ball and pinch it back.
Very interesting at half-time, Mark. The Norwegian players didn't go into the dressing rooms, and that's not because of the heat. I mean, it's a nice day, but it's certainly not oppressive. But they stayed out on the pitch. They linked arms, and they spoke about what they wanted to do in the second half. And obviously part of that is to be brave and to hang on and to play for each other. And that was a set of 6 where they could easily have considered a try, but they didn't. And now they've got opportunity to attack themselves.
They're fledgling in terms of their international experience, but they're growing by the second. All these are valuable lessons that need to be learned here on the field. They trail by 32 points, but they're trying their level best here to get back into this game. As the ball now goes forward, a break up the middle. This is better. Very much a better run there from Harvey, the loose forward. Short pass taken up by Skidmore Hornby. He's over the 40 and he's still pumping the legs. He'll be tackled just short of the 40-metre line. They'll now go across the field. Short pass and they threw a gap here. Chance for Norden Skipness. He's dragged down 15 away. He'll play the ball now. Looking, short pass. They're going to scoop from dummy half. It's Cummings who's trying to get over. His family here in the stadium watching him this afternoon. They'd love to see their boy get over the line. They're going to the left-hand side now. Here they go again. It's Harvey who's tackled. Oh, he reached out for the line, but he couldn't find the whitewash. He only had to touch the line, and it would have been a try. Now they're trying to barge their way over, and Norway have got their first points. A big celebration around us. It might not be enough to win the game, but Christopher Milligan dives in, the captain, and no less than they deserve for a spirited start to the second half. Norway on the board. It's Norway 4, Greece 32.
Yeah, quite a few dignitaries here from the diplomatic community as far as Norway is concerned. Some of them just walking in, actually, and they would have looked up at the scoreboard and thought, oh, what have I come to here? But sure enough, a try to the hooker, and he's been a really good player for them this afternoon. Quite crafty from dummy half. Reminds me, I'll tell you who he reminds me of. He's a blast from the past. David O'Donnell. He used to play for Manly and Paris Saint-Germain. But yeah, he reminds me very much of David O'Donnell. And he actually deserves a try as much as anyone. I would have thought he's one of the best players for Norway here today.
Well, he scored in that win over Germany. The kick is good as well. They're not hanging around the Norwegians. They want some points, and it's the man with the moustache, Fredrik Nordturn, who was Simbin in the first half, who sticks the goal over. Well, never say never. We've seen it quite a lot in our Super League competition. Some big leads being overturned this season. Are we going to see the same here? The Greeks will have other ideas, I'm sure, but it's Norway 6, Greece 32.
Yes, and the Greeks aren't really in a hurry to restart. It's a tricky thing mentally when you've got such a big lead at half-time. There's no need to be too adventurous because you could expose yourself to conceding points. But on the other hand, if you play too conservatively, you give your opponents an opportunity. So that's what's happened so far in the second half. 7 minutes gone in the second half. Greece 32, Norway 6.
Yeah, Dave Hunter, the Norwegian coach will be delighted, I think, with that try, because it came on the back of a wonderful effort on their own line defensively, and it's showing that they've got both sides of the game in their locker. Now, can they find another try here? And they're going to get a penalty because Wikaria, the fullback, was held down there so they can kick the ball in a touch. And, well, look, we've seen stranger things in the sport of rugby league, Stephen. We can never say never, but if they can get some points again here, all of a sudden, you never know.
Maybe they were just foxing in the first half. They were running dead. So well, they knew some staff from the embassy were running a bit late for the match, so they didn't want to play their hand until everyone was inside the stadium.
I've been impressed with this back row. You know, Christian Norden Skipness, he's taking the ball up well all day, and he gets over the top of a defender there. Milligan pops the ball up for Skidmore Hornby, who certainly added some size and impact off the bench, and he's still going here. The big number 17, what a carry that is, and the Norwegian fans enjoyed that around us here. They're getting very vocal at the moment. Ball going forward, they're moving it out. Can they slip the ball away? Cummins takes on the line, he's tackled 15 out. as Milligan goes running over to dummy half. Can he now get another play of the ball going here? He'll go to the left-hand side. He'll move the ball out. Viljoen all the way for the intercept again, but what it means is Norway are going to get another set of 6 tackles. We saw that in the first half from Meads. He couldn't hang on then. He didn't hang on here either. And now the fullback Wickeria goes forward. He's tackled 15 away. They just need a little bit of structure here, the Norwegians. Try and create that second try as they go forward now with Brett Harvey. Harvey's going for the line. He breaks through. Can he get the ball over the line? No, he's held up. Took 3 defenders to hold him out. Milligan, can he sneak another one from close range? They're all around him at dummy half. If they move it to the left, they've got numbers. They've just got to pass it. Oh, he's gone for it himself, Wickeria. That was a little bit greedy on that occasion. He should have gone out wide. They had the numbers. They would have walked in at the corner. They come back now to the middle. Big spinning pass, great pass. They're going to be in this time. And it's Casey Diggs. 2 tries in quick succession for the Norwegian side. And those Norway fans and dignitaries are celebrating now. Maybe, just maybe, the comeback's on. It's Norway 10, Greece 32.
What about this? It's unbelievable, really. Norway, maybe they heard a bit of our commentary before half-time back over in the huddle where we said could be a record score because they've certainly aimed up since the restart of play after the break. Casey Diggs, he's an American military athlete who lives in Norway. And he didn't really have to run very far then. He just had to put the ball down. But it makes you wonder, Mark, how much nerves played a part in Norway's start to this match. You know, they made errors, conceded tries, and now there's no pressure on them, or less pressure, because most people think they can't win.
Well, Nordturn is going to add the extras. The cheers will tell you that. Aimed it just outside the post and swings it in, and look at him sprinting back. They want the ball back in play, Norway. It's Norway 12, Greece 32. Well, we said they should have put it through hands on the left, Steve. That was a great pass, wasn't it, that put Diggs over? Yeah,
Norway in a hurry to get the ball back in play. Greece, not so much. They're taking their time getting back to the halfway mark. But yeah, some good skill, and just the ball really pinged from one side of the field to another. They had an overlap on the left, and you said in commentary that they'd blown an opportunity, but just they were able to create an overlap on the right then, and yeah, a great try, and certainly shows what they can do when, as I said, they're not too nervous, not too worried. They're just going to play rugby league.
Well, here's Meads, who's going to go high, a swirling restart. Wickeria as well, clutches it into his chest, gets the ball away, and it's driven forward again by Skidmore Hornby. He's been a threat, he has. In fact, my apologies, that's McIntyre, isn't it, with a run this time. Ball coming forward again up the middle, and certainly Brett Harvey in this second half has certainly come out looking more determined and running the ball. He's a dangerous operator. As the referee says, get on with the play of the ball, as it's driven forward now by Niels Christian Holt on that far side. Now it's Greece who are being told to get back the 10, as now they'll come forward again. A little drop, a step there from Cummings, who is well wrapped up in the middle of the pitch, and he'll play the ball on halfway. Milligan gets it out wide. They're going to try the little chip through again, but it's just got too much on it. Constantinu just had to wait a moment for it to bounce up. It bounced up in his arms, and now he looks to launch the counter-attack, and Greece finally getting their hands back on the ball, Steve.
Yeah, no, want to settle it down now, hold it for a full set, and then just kick it, and keep Norway coming out of their own end. But a penalty, so that's a plus, obviously, for the Greeks, who have been besieged somewhat for the opening 12 minutes of this half.
Yeah, it was Kostas Katsadinis who was held down in the tackle, and Meads will kick for touch over on the far side. He goes high and will gain about 20 metres downfield, not even that, 15 metres downfield, and they'll play the ball as the Norwegians making a change, as Joshua Skidmore Hornby has gone off. Maybe getting back on later, but they're aiming up again here, the Norwegians. They fancy the look of this now, and Harvey again is leading the challenge. 13 gone in the second half. They're flying out of the line as Bastos, the Doncaster player, is tackled. 30 out from the line. Greece will know another score will put them back in command, but Mamazelos is taken off his feet. 25 out, and another penalty. They just couldn't resist. Back-to-back penalties here for the Greek side, and this could well lead to danger here. 20 metres out with a full set in hand, Steve, and maybe just those penalties have undone all the good work Norway have just come up with.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if they just took the 2 points there and just reset. It's not going to make much difference, but obviously they want to back themselves to make it 6.
Here's Mamazelos, gets the ball away, there's a missed tackle, they're rumbling forward within 5 metres of the line. They'll play the ball underneath the post. Now Norway's turn to defend, and it's going to be a hat-trick for Mamazelos. The South Sydney man guarantees a spot in the next round of the World Cup qualifiers. And Mamazelos dives in from close range, his 3rd of the day, and he really has been the class act on the field here at the New River Stadium. Too quick, too strong from close in. Greece extend their lead to 36 points to 12.
And I'm pretty sure at 18 years of age, Peter Mamazelos is the youngest player on the field today. And what an adventure for him from a Greek-Australian family. Yet to break into grade, which is the senior squad at South Sydney, but he's able to travel to the other side of the world to play in a World Cup qualifier. I'm sure his parents are watching now back home. Congratulations, your son is doing you proud. I'm sure the extended family, the whole family's watching back there in Sydney. So yeah, he certainly looks a good player, doesn't he?
He does indeed. We mentioned the quality, and you'd have to say he has been that quality here today. And he's just poached a 3rd try, typical hooker's try from close to the line, looking for a lazy defender. He found one, and he was over. And here's Meads to add the extras. Norway will be disappointed with that. Back-to-back penalties have really undone all their hard work at the start of the second half, as Meads makes no mistake. And it's 38 points to 12, and maybe Norway's dream comeback has just been put back on the shelf.
Yeah, it does. One thing worth considering, I guess, Mark, is that if Peter was in the senior squad at Souths, he probably couldn't have got a release to come to this game, which is unfortunate. And it's one of the many things in our game we have to sort out, with obviously the domestic dispute in Greece being another one of them. But, you can't buy that sort of experience for a young guy at 18 to be able to travel, to play with a group of guys that he's not familiar with in a representative team, in a representative environment, and then to go home and use that experience. Again, he'll be lining up next weekend against teenagers again. So it's quite a remarkable story.
It is indeed. Well played to him, A, for putting his hand up to come, and B, to South for letting him come as well, because we see it in England. A lot of the Super League clubs won't release their younger players for international rugby. We saw it last year with Wales. They had problems getting some of their younger players released, but no such problems for Peter Mamazelos. And boy, is he proving every inch an international rugby league player, as Greece now, you feel, just buoyed by that try. Going to look to try and reassert themselves here. Norway have had their 10 minutes of fun as Mamazelos is off again, dragged down by his bootlaces this time. Good tackle from Harvey, but, well, more messing about the play of the ball. And Mamazelos, as you would do, he's asking the question of the officials as Meads is wrapped up. Then he gets the pass away over on that right-hand side. A good cover tackle, though, stops the immediate threat. Last one, 30 metres out for Greece. What are they going to do? They're going to go short. Constantinou puts the grubber kick in. And, of course, now time is against Norway. Just over 23 minutes left. They trail 38 points to 12.
Been really impressed with the Norway setup, the players. Yesterday was, as I mentioned, Coronation Day, the national holiday of Norway, and there was an event in Southwark Park, and all the players were there, very, very relaxed. Guys from all different backgrounds, different accents. Obviously plenty of Norwegian accents, as you'd expect, but also American accent, Kiwi accents, Australian accents. But as you said, Mark, they're genuine local players in almost every case. They play in Norway, and one fella who should be mentioned too. Should be a proud moment for Warren Heilig, who started rugby league in Norway all those years ago. He's back in Australia now, and it often happens in rugby league that you move on, and you don't get to see the fruits of your labour. But Warren, I know everyone here is thinking of you, and everyone acknowledges all the work that you did to get this team this far.
Yeah, as you said, it's been a huge week for Norwegian Rugby League. It might not be getting the result they want on the field at the moment, but the bigger picture is rosier than it was last week, as Harvey will take the ball forward. There's a few tired Norwegian boys now as they're pouring everything into this, but another great offload from Norden Skipnes. Ball up towards the halfway line, rumbling forward again they go, this time with Ezra McIntyre. Ball now here with Cummings. Cummings never frightened to take on the line, gets it away. They've got the chance here. Oh, they're going to go in again. Diggs, no, they don't pass. Borsheim strolls in. Brilliant try. Should he have passed? Probably. But he gets the 4-pointer. And brilliant play from Norway down the short side. McIntyre involved, but Borsheim finishes it off, the Stavanger Storm man. Norway 16, Greece 38.
Oh, that was fantastic. And yeah, he basically could be Thor, couldn't he? With the beard. Looks like he's come from Central Casting, and despite that knock in the first half, he's bleeding from the head there. I thought it was a perfect dummy. I know that if he hadn't scored, he would have copped it, but actually it was a perfectly sold dummy. That's what we call in rugby league when you fake to pass to a teammate. And there we go. Another. And how about those boots? Look at the boots. They're like tiger skin boots.
Well, here he comes. Oh, that's a really poor effort from Nordturn. He'll be disappointed with that. He didn't strike that one as well as he did his previous two efforts. But what a try from Borsheim down the short side. He had Diggs outside, and Constantino, he had to gamble what was going to happen. He went for the gamble on the pass, and Borsheim strolled in. And, you know, what a brilliant moment for these boys, scoring at this level. This is what it's all about, isn't it, when they're playing the club rugby back in Norway?
Yeah, and you notice on the previous two tackles, the forwards are starting to poke their noses through, the Norwegian forward. The Greek team are getting a little tired, and there are some offloads to be had. What the Norwegians need to do now, and it's easy for me to stand here and say it, and they're all very fatigued, is to support the ball runner more, because the forwards are starting to poke their noses through, and there are opportunities for tries like that. So if they can just support their teammate, there'll be more tries for Norway.
Well, they're coming forward again here. They've got 20 minutes left to produce the impossible as Stalsberg is tackled. A word as well for Borsheim. 4 tries in that win over Germany that wrapped up their win in Group C in the northern section. And now they're coming forward again with Harvey. Harvey's been a different player second half, hasn't he?
He's been outstanding. He's been outstanding. That halftime talk must have been a good one.
It must have been. Ball again short. Here's McIntyre again. He's bowling off defenders. He was trying manfully to get the ball, but Meads rather cutely wrapped it up as the ball played just over halfway. Here now is Viljoen. Gets the ball out on that far side. They're trying to keep it alive with Stalsberg. They can't quite manage it. Last one, he's lost it. He's lost it on the last tackle. His eagerness to get up and play the ball, he spilt it. And that will be it should be the turnover, shouldn't it? It's a scrum head and feed to Greece just inside their own half.
Yeah, I think both sides thought there was a turnover there, but we're going to pack a scrum just near halfway. This crowd has really built up since the game started. It's quite an early start. 1:15 p.m. Early start on a Sunday in London, and it's just a nightmare of a city to get around. So I'm sure a lot of people intended to get here a lot earlier and found themselves stuck in public transport or in traffic. A scrum win to Greece.
It is indeed. They come forward again. But I'll tell you what, those fans that have come, they've enjoyed every minute of this. 38-16, and I just wonder if Dave Hunter's Norway side might be thinking, what if had their side a little bit better? But Greece are coming forward. They've earned the lead they have, 38-16. Mamazolas again in at dummy half, will look to play the ball. He fires the pass away. Here comes Stefanos Bastos. He's looking to get on the edge. He's rolled one off. He's still going, the big fella. He should be playing in the game this afternoon, London against Doncaster, but he's on international duty. And he's tackled 15 metres out. They're going to go again. Up the middle they're going. Route 1 stuff from Greece, but the defence so far holds good. Inside the 10, Greece have it. They'll play the ball now. Mamazelos swings it to Liatu. He gets it away. Here's Constantinou. He moves it on this near side. A chance here as they cut back. Oh, another huge tackle. It was McIntyre with a shoulder. on Siakos. Ball, little short kick from Mamazelos. Has he been grounded? No, it was knocked on in the end by Robert Tulliatu. He couldn't get his hands on it, or that would have been another try. But well played there, the defence. And what a tackle. What a tackle from Ezra McIntyre.
He's having an absolute blind. A very funny guy. Met him yesterday, always G'ing up his teammates. I can't really repeat some of his gags, but he's a funny guy. And now Norway just running the ball out of danger, and their confidence is right up now. I mean, that scoreline now is quite respectable, and it looked like it could be anything in the first half. And they're going to add to their total here.
Well, you mentioned that half-time chat they had on the field, and we'll probably never get to find out what was said, but I'm sure there were words used like, "Come on, let's show this crowd what we can do." And second half, they've done that.
I think the words used were in Norwegian. They were Norwegian words.
Okay, fair enough. Ball coming across this near side. They're looking for more points. Good tackle from the Greek defence. Well, it wasn't. It was high, says the referee. Mamazelos penalised for a high tackle. And the sun coming out here in London. It's a lovely afternoon for rugby league. Well, he's tapped it. They could have kicked for touch and pinched a few metres, but now they go straight up the middle. And there was no support. You mentioned the support.
How about the footwork?
From Cummings. He saw the try line and he thought, I'm having a go at this one. Ball now goes to the near side. They're trying to power their way forward again. This time it's Mullins. I think they're all following each other's leads now, these forwards. They're seeing there's some gains to be had. Here now goes Norton Skipners. He drives it forward. Let's see him get over. I think he's been outstanding in the back row today for Norway. He'll play the ball. He's left the defender on the ground. They're coming now to Cummins. Big miss out pass. Oh, he's missed everyone. Over Diggs, but they're offside, Steve. They're going to get a penalty. They were offside. They were so worried about the threat of Diggs on the right. They've strayed offside.
Yeah, that was a big let-off actually for the team, for Norway, because it was a poorly executed pass. Let's face it, it went to the touch judge. But now they get a second chance.
They do indeed.
Second bite of the cherry here for Norway. I think they can score.
Well, there are 15 minutes left. They need 4 tries here. Well, they've got to start somewhere. Can they get one here? Would be their 4th of the afternoon as Harvey puts his shoulder in there. Numbers on the left again. The Greeks are defending really narrow at the moment. They're almost challenging Norway to throw the ball out wide. Maybe they think they haven't got that ability. Well, they're going to swing the ball out wide now. They have got the ability and they will score. It's a try for Frederick Norton. He dives over in the corner. Well executed pass. And all of a sudden, these Norwegians are believing the impossible might be about to happen. It's Norway 20, Greece 38.
I'm getting goosebumps, Mark. Where was this team in the first half? We didn't really see them attack at all. I don't think we saw a cutout pass in the first half. That was a perfectly weighted pass that a full-time professional in Super League or the NRL would be proud of. And that was a perfectly run line. You could not ask for more from a rugby league passage of play. It was poetry, and now we have a situation where the Norwegian dignitaries who have stuck around, they didn't leave, they didn't do the Wigan walk, and they've been rewarded for sticking around, because if this goal goes over, there's only going to be 16 points of difference. So that's 3 converted tries.
Here comes the kick from the sideline. I think he's just pulled it. He has. It doesn't go over, so still 3 converted tries of difference. But Norway were 32-0 down at half-time. They're running right in the second half. They've put 20 points on the board. They need some more. But boy, oh boy, Steve Mascott, what an effort from this side. And they're doing it by playing some good rugby.
Look, I don't know about you. I've been getting texts from people all afternoon in Barcelona saying, why aren't you here? But I would not, I'll put on record, I would not rather be in Barcelona. I wouldn't mind being in Toronto at the Nines, but this has an edge over the America's Nines in Toronto as well. I wouldn't rather be at Summer Bash. You wouldn't be anywhere else but here, because we're seeing a bit of rugby league history. 19 versus 20 in the world. They've never been this far, and one of them is going to progress to be a couple of games away from a World Cup.
There's a ball on the kicking tee inside the 10. I'll tell you what, Scotland and Russia will be looking on. Whoever wins this game, they're not going to be any easy tasks in the next round of qualification. The top 2, remember, going through. So it may only need 1 win to get into the Rugby League World Cup after this, as that's better defence from the Greek side. 20 metres off the Norwegian line. Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it. They've knocked it on. And the force of the tackle, I think, has knocked the ball free. And they're disappointed with that. It was Sam Mullins, the Bodo Barbarian, who's dropped the ball. And maybe that might be the moment that this game changes.
It's a good indication of the standard, too, in the domestic competition in Norway, isn't it? That some of the play we've seen here today. Every year we've got the Oslo Nines as well. It is played, obviously in Oslo, and it's always well attended. And it's really good to see the game grow organically like it has.
Well, here could be a chance so to wrap it up, and they're going to score in the corner, and it's their try that will wrap things up here for Greece. They sneak over. It's the fullback Konstantinou, his second of the day, and the Sunbury Tigers man wraps up a trip through to the next round of qualification straight from the scrum. They go down the short side. Mead straws the defender, and Konstantinou outpaces the cover and puts the ball down on the line. It's Greece now who lead by 42 points to 20.
Norway there, Mark, just not numbering up from a scrum, a pretty basic error. It comes with fatigue, not enough players on what we call the blind side there to cover. And also nice footwork and use of the ball there from Jordan Meads. He just hesitated enough to draw in the defence and get the defenders second guessing. So, but again, a simple try down the short side from a scrum, and that's about it for this afternoon as far as the result is concerned. But that doesn't mean the football's over, because since half time it's been outstanding.
It has indeed. We've seen plenty of points this afternoon. Can we see two more here from the boot of Meads? The Biawa Bulldogs man looking to add the conversion here from that right touchline. He sends it on its way. The touch judges like the look of this. Well, he missed one in the first half from right in front of the post. He's been kicking them from all over thereafter. It's 44 points to 20. Greece lead here.
Yeah, and the smile's been on his face. He was joking with the referee on the way out, Jordan Meads. He's been chatting to the opposition. He's missed goals from in front and kicked them from the sideline. He's had a great afternoon here in London, Jordan Meads, and obviously a very, very talented footballer, and a guy who, well, you know, the big question is with some of these guys who are based in Australia, you know, will they be able to travel for the qualifier? Not so much these guys, but you know, there's obviously a game against Russia in Russia, so there's visa issues come in. All these sort of extraneous and external factors have an impact when you're playing international sport.
They do indeed, and it's fair to say Greece well worthy of their place against Scotland and Russia in the next round. They beat Ukraine in Kharkov 28-26, and then they thrashed Malta to get through to this level. And it's fair to say they've done a good number on the Norwegians here, but it's been a much more spirited Norwegian effort in this second half. And you get the feeling, despite the fact there's only 9 minutes left, we are going to see some more points as Tuilatu gets the ball away to Meads, back on the inside, and they are going to score. It's the fourth try of the day for Peter Mamazelos. Remember the name, we may well be seeing him in the NRL soon. An absolute star in the making here, and they do get a try. It's their ninth of the afternoon, 48 points to 20.
And just trailing up the middle there, you know, the ball's never dead. Your job is never done. You might have put your teammate into a nice position there, but you keep your eye on the ball. You follow him through, follow him down the middle, and that's what hookers have to do. It's part of the job description now in rugby league. And this 18-year-old from South Sydney, 4 tries an international. You'd be pinching yourself, wouldn't you? He's probably still getting over jet lag. Probably getting used to the money still. Trying to use his Aussie dollars down the corner shop.
Well,
but he scored 4 tries in international.
I'm sure, and he is old enough to have a pint here in England. I'm sure he won't struggle for one tonight, dare I say it. I think they'll enjoy this, the Greek side. And now, is that Bastas that's kicked the goal? Well, it was the most unconvincing kick I've ever seen, but it went over the crossbar, and it is Stefanos Bastas, the Doncaster man. His teammates will be here ready for their game this afternoon. Well, I'm not sure he's getting the gig full time, but he got it over anyway.
Yeah, he also kicked the tee. The tee almost went further than the ball, but he doesn't have tiger skin boots. So unfortunately, you know, the Norwegians just had that extra bit with style, you know. So
Well, Bastas gets the conversion, the 50 up. The sun is out, and it's a good day if you're a Greek Rugby League fan, because their team are winning by 50 points to 20 here with 7 minutes left. Norway have put up a really gutsy effort in this second half, and I think, you know, they'll look at what happened in that first half, and maybe they'll question themselves as to how they handled it. Maybe, as you said, Steve, the occasion did get the better of them, but at least we've seen what they can do in this second half, and come qualification and next games, they're going to be a threat again, having learned from this experience.
Look, these games are a revelation to those of us who are old enough to remember the same old clubs in the same old places, same old countries. Just to be here and watch this match, and for it to be streamed and for people to be able to watch it, if you're a lifelong rugby league fan, that's an incredible achievement. It's something we couldn't have dreamt of.
Well, they're going to be in again here as they break away down the far side, and guess what? It's going to be another try, but this time the offload, and it's a second try of the day. Nianiakis, who's gone over the back rower. Well, Mamazelos, if he'd have wanted to, I think could have pinned his ears back and scored, but unselfishly he puts it on a plate for Theodoros Nianiakis, the Irish Eagles man, his second of the day, and the scoreline now starting to run away from a very plucky Norway side.
Yeah, Peter from South Sydney, I mean, he is just running riot, but you've got to give credit to the defence of Norway for chasing back, because it prevented 5 tries for this young man. He certainly had 5 tries in his sights, and but the defence forced him to offload Nianiakis, who is a Green Beret paratrooper, I believe. So, yes, the boys are better behaved when they're out celebrating tonight. He scores between the posts.
He does indeed, and Meads, I think, having seen Bastas kick the last one, has decided, no more of those, I'm going to take this one. And he'll put the ball on the kicking tee. Well, he missed one from this position in the first half. I don't think he'll miss this one. Meads has had a good day, hasn't he? He hasn't got over the whitewash himself, but his performance, he's been pulling the strings, Steve. He's been doing everything right.
Yeah, he's got a smile on his face, and he's playing in a dinner suit a little bit, isn't he? You know, he's happy for his teammates to get the spoils, but I think he's certainly going to enjoy the evening. He's having a chat with everyone he sees, from the referee to the linesman to the opponents, trainers, and he's given us plenty of entertainment by kicking goals from the sideline and missing them from in front. But he adds to their total now. So Greece 56, Norway 20. Norway technically the home team on the draw. So if you are English and you put the home team first, then the score is Norway 20, Greece 56.
It is indeed. 4 minutes left. You wouldn't rule out more points here.
I would rule out a comeback, though.
Yeah, possibly. The heat is just coming up a little bit, as the ball taken well by Mamazelos above his head. He fancies a run here. You get the feeling he wants more work. He's certainly not put the cue on the rack, has he? Since he scored that 4th try. Plays the ball. And the ball going down the short side. I wonder if we might see a bit more flair here from the Greek side inside their own half. They've had to work hard here. They were leading well in that first half. They were 32 points to 0 up at half-time, but the Greek defence was breached many times in that second half. It got to 38-20 at one point before Konstantinou, Mamazelos and Nianiakis tries wrapped it up, as they're going for the 40-20 here from Meads, and I think he's got it. I think he's got it, which will mean it will be a ball for the Greek side, as we see them get the ball back. So because Meads kicked it inside his own 40 there, and it went into touch in the 20, Greece will get the ball back, and they will have a chance to put more points on here. It will be disappointing for Norway. Second half, they've done everything they could here, but they got within 18, and they knocked on, didn't they, on the first tackle after the restart. From that moment, they've been put to the sword, as Meads now, he's going to kick the ball out wide. They're really going through the skill set here, and it could be another try in the corner. No, the touch judge has got his flag up, and the try will be disallowed, and not to be for Dimos Katsanakis, who thought he was in for another try, but he was tackled right on the whitewash. Let's have a look at this. He's going for the line. Yeah, he was out. Great spot from the linesman. Flag went straight up. And it wasn't to be. Try number 11 for the Greek side. We've now got just 2 minutes left. Norway, can they find another try of their own? They've had 4 this afternoon. They've scored some belters and they're trying to get away, and they might get one. Here's Diggs. Now he is quick, and Diggs is going for the line. Konstantinu won't get him. Norway get another one. Diggs is in again. It's a length of the field try from Norway, and Diggs celebrates. His team celebrate, and so do the fans who've made the trip to London this afternoon. That was one of the moments of the game. He's a real athlete, this fella. And they got him away, and he sprints in to score. Konstantinu, I think, thought he had him, but the burners were put down. It's another great pass, this time from Borsheim, and look at him go. Konstantinu at full tilt. Oh, he thought he had him. And Diggs cuts in to score at the side of the post. And maybe just a scant consolation for this Norwegian side, who've given it absolutely everything here at the New River Stadium. And they have their 5th try. The kick is good from Nathan Cummings. And there's still maybe a minute or so left here. What a try, though. What a try it was. The conversion, a simple one for Cummings. And it's 56 points to 26 here. That one of the moments of the game. Not long left now here at the New River Stadium. It's a time for one more. We've been treated to a feast of rugby league today. Both sides have scored some good tries. We've seen a potential star in the making in Peter Mamazelos, the Greek number 9. We've seen Casey Diggs score a couple of nice tries for the Norwegian side. And we've seen some good performances all round as well. As the ball comes forward now with Norway. They'll play the ball. Down the short side they go. It's taken forward by Sonny Mellor. Mellor wrapped up just short of the halfway line. We're inside the final few seconds. What are they going to do here? They'll swing the ball out to this near side. They're looking again to get the ball away for Borsheim. He turns it back inside to get it back to Borsheim. Great tackle. And that is the last act of the game. The referee will blow the whistle. And Greece it is who will go through. The celebrations start in the stands and on the field as well. Because Greece are going to play Scotland and Russia with a place at the World Cup in 2021 in England at stake. The game off the field might be in turmoil in Greece, but on the field this afternoon they've really delivered the goods here. They've delivered 10 tries in total. The star, 4-try Peter Mamazelos of South Sydney. The youngster has really led this team around, ably helped by the likes of Jordan Meads, the captain, and also Robert Tuliatu as well. But it's a win for Greece. Commiserations to Norway, who were worthy winners of Group C North. And they came here, but 32-0 at half-time. They just gave themselves too much to do. But they had a real good go in the second half. Got back to 38 points to 20 before Greece ended up victorious, 56 points to 26. And it's they who will go to play Scotland and Russia in the next round of qualification games for the Rugby League World Cup 2021. Great spirit the game was played in here, and all parties congratulating each other on a job well done. Let's have a look at some of the tries then this afternoon. Started off in the first half, and it was the man who plays his club rugby here, Robert Tuliatu, that dived over from close range to get the Greek bandwagon rolling. It was the first of 6 tries in the first half. And Tuliatu, it was who opened the scoring. He then turned provider as he slipped the ball away, and Mamazelos with one of the picks of his tries as he raced in from 60 yards out. He sprints over to score. And then, after half-time, the comeback was on. Christopher Milligan, the captain, dived over from close range. It looked at that point as though it was only a consolation. But Norway started to get a bit of momentum. Casey Diggs crossed for his first in the corner. That was the first of his tries. And then Christopher Borsheim, who was outstanding this afternoon, skipped his way through to score. And then Greece wrapped things up late on, having been pegged back at 38-20. Konstantinou and Mamazelos wrapped things up. And Nianiakis finished it off for good measure for the Greek side. But there's the man, number 9, Peter Mamazelos. We might just be hearing a little bit more about that young fella. He put on the final try as well. He could have scored himself, but he set it up for Theodoris Nianiakis, who strolled in for his second of the day. So that's the scene then here at the New River Stadium. The teams are in huddles. You can see the Norwegian team just having a chat amongst themselves. Some of the dignitaries have made their way down. Well, let's get across to Steve. He's got the man of the moment, Peter Mamazelos.
4 tries, mate. You've come to the other side of the world. Describe your experience.
Oh, what a great experience coming over here. I've never been to Europe before. It's my first time. We went on camp a couple of days ago. We first went to Greece with all the team. I learned a lot about my culture over there and bonded with the boys, and then to come here and get the win with them, it's what an experience.
You almost got 5?
Almost 5, but team effort. Got to look out for the boys, yeah.
So tell us, you played flag at the Rabbitohs. Was it hard to get a release to come over here?
Well, I was fortunate. We had a bye this weekend, so I was lucky to get the release for this game, and so I was lucky to get over here, but next week back with South. So.
Now, how many relatives you got watching back home right now?
My whole family, got my sisters, my girlfriend, my brother, all the boys over there, so they'll be happy. Yeah.
Well, you can look straight down the camera and give them a message. What would you like to say to them?
Thank you for the support. My sisters, Steph, Nana, my family, my parents coming over here, Byron, Ali, all the boys, Chiga, Finn Dog, everyone, Joshi, Fongi, love you all. Yeah,
we're running out of time on the broadcast. Congratulations.
Love you, thank you. Thank you.
What an impressive young man there, Peter Mamazelos. 4 tries for him this afternoon. He'll be one of the big stories to come out of this Greek win today. But interesting, he talked about his teammates and the team ethic and the family that he support that he's had as well. As the Norwegians just having a team photograph taken on the field down away to our left-hand side. There they are, all the guys. It's been a heroic effort here. Not many gave them a chance of getting out of Group C North, but they did it when they beat Germany to secure the place here. Today was maybe a step too far for them, but they gave it everything they had. And Norway will be proud of their efforts. For the Greek boys, well, they'll be looking forward to November and games against Russia and Scotland that are their next assignments, and they'll know if they win both of those games, they'll be guaranteed a place in the World Cup 2021. It may be that one win will be enough, and they are celebrating down. They're singing their team song now. The flag's been waved as Norway break up from their huddle. They'll look on, and Greece celebrating. This is what it's all about for them. They want to get to the World Cup. And they're now just 2 games away, and they're going to get a trophy for winning Group C overall here. And it'll be Jordan Meads who is presented with the trophy, and he will celebrate with his teammates. You get the feeling these Greek boys are going to enjoy tonight as Meads lift the trophy with a smile on his face he's had since his team came out of the dressing rooms. but Greece have won it today and they qualify for the next stage of the World Cup qualifications. They are winners overall of Group C. Well played to the Greece side. They've been well worth it today. 10 tries in total for them. So full time here then at the New River Stadium, London. 2 new names for International Rugby League. Norway were brave, but they didn't have enough to stop Greece, who were mighty this afternoon. They will go on to the next round. Good luck to them. Their Rugby League World Cup dream is still alive. Full time at the New River Stadium in London. It's Norway 26, Greece 56.